You've eliminated tipping from all your restaurants. You were the first to do that in the States, paying your employees a living wage.
And I don't want to be running an organization where half the people are going to fall below the poverty line, some of whom spent their life savings going to culinary school. It just felt completely wrong. So I said, all right, stop it. I can blame the tipping system all I want, or we can actually reject it.
I mean, I wonder, to what extent, I know this is a tough question, do you think that those measures might have made your company more vulnerable, less resilient with this sudden shock?
Oh, I actually think to the contrary, and I'll tell you why. And this gets back to our last conversation about recruiting our team back. So if you take 2,000 layoffs, for example, which happened last week in our company, and let's take the hourly workers who were front of the house employees, who, if they had been tipped employees, their unemployment claim would have been dramatically lower than what our laid off employees are able to claim. Why? Because in this country, there is a separate and lower minimum wage for tipped employees.
Yep.
Dramatically lower in some cases. In some half of the states in this country, the adjusted minimum wage is $2.13 an hour. Imagine going to unemployment and saying, here's my W-2, and I'm really sorry I didn't declare all those cash tips, but here's my W-2, what do I qualify for? And I qualify for some percentage of a W-2 that shows $2.13 an hour minimum wage. Now take an employee who did not work in a tipped house, who was obviously paid an hourly wage as close to what the full tip would have been anyway. Those people are in much better shape, and my guess is for the first time they now see why this was a really important thing for people to do that.
Once the pandemic is over, or once we're allowed to go back into the restaurants, you're going to need at least a month to re-recruit and rehire your employees. Why does it take so long?
You know, a lot of people think that you should just be able to turn on the lights and turn on the gas stoves and you've got a restaurant. But you got to think about a restaurant almost as if it's a team. A hospitality team takes time to warm up and learn to play together and work together and remember how to do it. So it's going to take time. My guess is in my business where we've got a number of different restaurants, we will probably end up starting with one or two of them and learn how to do it. It's just kind of overwhelming for me to think about opening 8 restaurants on the same day at the same time with rusty teams. Now, the good news is we're doing everything we possibly can to stay in touch with our employee base. The only choice, again, to get to the other side, we need talent and we need money. And those two things are at odds with each other. So all I can really do is to say, how can we distinguish ourselves? I can't even believe these words are coming out of my mouth. How can we distinguish ourselves as a business that did a more effective job of laying off and then re-recruiting people than other businesses? And it sounds like horrible medicine to take, but that's what has to happen.